Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. And our first participant will be Jordan Leach from Bangkok. Hi, Jordan.
Good evening, Ajahn.
How's life for you?
It's going fine, thank you. Just trying to get some things sorted out before ordination, but everything is on track for that still. I got to go and rehearse with the Upajjhaya at Wat Yannasangwararam on the weekend. I've got the chanting memorized, so it's good.
Do they have a place to stay? If you like to stay there, is there a place you can stay?
Do you mean long term or?
No, well, right now, if you want to stay overnight and once.
Yes, I did stay there overnight on the weekend,
okay.
and they're happy to have me stay over any time I have time.
Are you the only foreigner there?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of the monks are pretty good at speaking English.
Okay. How many monks are there?
If they were all there aren't a lot. There may be 15 or so, it seems, and about half of them are maybe just temporary ordinations. They do temporary ordinations there.
That's usually the case with most temples or monastery. Half and half.
Okay.
So, anything you would like to ask me tonight?
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. One question I have. I was wondering if you feel that. Do you think that if most people, do you think that most people would be capable of developing Apana Samadhi if they can get themselves to make the effort to practice continuous mindfulness throughout the day and practice meditation? Do you think that's something that most people could get to?
I think so. That's why we have Arahant, noble disciples.
That's encouraging.
It's just a matter of putting the effort, but you have to do it wholeheartedly, totally, in order to be able to get your mind to become calm and peaceful. Not half-heartedly or part-time practice. It has to be whole time. From the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. You must never let your mindfulness drop. You must always maintain your mindfulness all the time. And you should be, as much as possible, being in solitude, in seclusion. Because when you have to mingle with people, you start to talk. And then that's putting the mind into thinking mode. And it will be difficult when you meditate to stop it from thinking. So the Buddha discouraging mingling between practitioners. Only when they come for a Dhamma meeting or something like this. But otherwise, try to be alone and try to maintain mindfulness. Stop thinking, stay in the present with your mantra or with your body, watching your body movement. Then when you meditate, there'll be a good possibility that you can get into Appana Samadhi or Kanika Samadhi at the start.
Okay, that's quite encouraging.
Ajahn Mahabua, he said during his first 6 years, he had to study the Pali scriptures. So he wasn't really a forest monastery, and he could only enter into jhana 3 times during the 6 years. Oh, wow. But you can. But once he started practice the forest meditation way, he can get into samadhi quite easily, because there's nothing else for you to do except meditate, maintaining mindfulness. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you very much.
Is that it for today?
Ajahn, do you feel that there's a difference do you have a different definition for awareness versus mindfulness?
Well, the real word is sati in Pali, and you can, I don't know, maybe people define them differently. Mindfulness, carefulness, it's the same thing. Just to be able to watch your thoughts and stop them.
Okay. That was my only other question. Thank you.
Yeah, just the reason why you are mindful, you have to be mindful with a mantra. That's because when you recite the mantra, then you cannot go thinking about other things. So use the mantra to block your thinking. If you don't have a mantra, then you can think aimlessly. But if you have a mantra, or you have to keep watching your body activity, then you cannot go thinking about other things. You might be able to go, but at first, but if you don't follow your thought, you keep following your body movement, then eventually your thought will stop. So this is mindfulness, sati in Pali, S-A-T-I, sati.
Okay, so just a matter of practicing and keeping it continuous, it sounds like.
Yes, so you can have continuous mindfulness. Then when you meditate, you can get into jhana very quickly and easily, 5 or 10 minutes.
Maybe this is sounds like, even though I've spent a lot of time on different retreats over the years and practicing at home, I think that because I it's not continuous. I go I leave a retreat and then I'm back into pursuing worldly pleasures and I think that it's obviously not conducive to concentration.
Yes. You have to give up your sensual pleasures, pursuit of sensual pleasure.
Makes a lot of sense.
Keep the 8 precepts, at least, and the minimum. Or more than that, go live in solitude in the forest.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. Looking forward to having that opportunity, hopefully.
But don't be too much concerned about it. Try to do your practice, and whether you get it or not, don't be discouraged. Things might take time. Like somebody said, you don't build Rome in one day.
Okay.
So it takes time.
So the goal will come as long as I'm doing the practice correctly.
Doing it correctly also.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Masha from Ohio. Where in Ohio are you in?
I'm in Dayton, Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, it's so good to be here. I was thinking about the instructions you gave me last week and, trying to follow those instructions. You said, perhaps my mind really isn't still. And that's why I get stuck in that concentration. So I've been working on that, and I did have one meditation where, I just wholeheartedly and consistently was following the breath. And, after a long, long, long time, the mind did become still. And I thought, oh, it wasn't like a wow moment, but occasionally over the years, I'll come to that stillness, and it's such a contrast, but it doesn't happen enough that sometimes I actually forget what the still mind is. But I'm going to continue to work on that. I think that's definitely what I need to do. And I'm also realizing that I don't have any right to the result. I can only just practice and not have the expectation, and just keep watching whatever happens. Just know whatever is happening.
That's right. If you watch your breath, don't follow your breath in or out. Just stay at the point of contact, at the tip of your nose or at the upper lips, somewhere there. That's where the wind will contact the body. Just keep focusing on the point of contact. Don't follow the breath in or out, because if you follow, then it means your mind is working. See? So it cannot be still. If you want it to be still, you have to fix it to something, like to a point of contact.
Yes. And so I've been working on that, and it really is a struggle, because the minute you fix it at a point, then the mind wants to look at the abdomen rising and falling, or it wants to follow the breath a little bit. And so I just have to wholeheartedly stick to the objective, as you're saying. Just
it might take time. It might take time also.
Yes.
What can help you is you have to develop more mindfulness before you come to do meditation during your day. From the time you get up, do as much mindfulness as you can.
Yes. Thank you. I will try. So, no questions. I'm just gonna try to do what you say, and thank you so much for your guidance.
Okay, you're welcome. Hope you succeed sooner or later.
Sooner. Hopefully sooner.
Okay. But don't anticipate or expect when you meditate. Just keep focusing on your meditation object.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Next, Professor Ken from Biel, Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
How is your vacation? Okay, good.
Yeah, just trying to get used to having more time again. It takes a few days to switch off, and I'm preparing for going to the temple next week for a few weeks. So I'm trying to practice more at home at the present time.
Yes, you can practice, but you just don't know that you can do it. You keep doing something that you used to do normally. But in fact, you can practice mindfulness wherever you are. It's just that you're not used to doing it.
Yeah, I try to do that, increase at home before going to the temple, instead of just going to the temple and it's a sudden cold turkey type of experience.
Yeah, it just should be a more smooth transition from home to monastery.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do that. I have to stay here at the moment just to finish off a few examinations, and the end of next week I'll be off to the monastery. So that's what I'm doing now, Ajahn.
Yes, but you can do it with mindfulness also. Just focus on whatever you do. Don't let your mind go to some other places. keep it with what you stay where you stay with whatever you are doing.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Kokseng from Singapore.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn. This evening, I'd like to ask you about my contemplation. What happened was this morning I received a letter from a public listed company which I has shares in it, and the letter actually says that there is going to be an annual general meeting, and during my meditation I observed that at the back of my mind, my mind was telling myself, "Oh, go for the annual general meeting because it's in a 6 stars hotel, in a very posh and luxurious hotel, and after the meeting there may be some buffets, some food to eat." But on the other hand, my Dhamma side of my mind tell me that, oh, this is my defilement playing tricks on me. It's actually the greed to the desire to see a luxurious hotel and so forth. But this thing actually happens. This is not the first time that I'm actually telling that the Dharma side of my mind is telling the department that, oh, this is greed. And so I found that the root cause of this greed, this desire is still there. It has not been eradicated yet. So I'm just trying to contemplate that how can I remove this desire to go and see a luxurious 6-star hotel, so that in future when I receive such letters again, then such cravings will not come again.
Well, you have to use the 3 characteristics of existence to see everything that you crave for is impermanent or temporary. It's only just a brief fix once, and then it's gone. So you go to the meeting and you enjoy a good meal, and then the next day it's all gone. And it left you empty-handed and maybe hungry for more. So you have to look at the adverse effect of this sensual pleasure. They will always leave you empty, leave you discontented, and crave for more. And when you cannot get what you crave for, then you will have dukkha or stress.
Yeah, and yeah, I this reminds me the Buddha mentioned something like craving is like a river that has no banks, and the water just keep on just overflowing. There is no banks at all.
That's right. You just keep craving for more and more. And never enough, because it never fulfills your mind. Doesn't make your mind feel contented. You always feel your mind is always seems to be empty. Once you have done what you crave for, then it's gone. The next moment it's gone, and you're back right to where you started at 0 again. So you keep craving for more and more until you cannot do it. Eventually, your body will not be able to do what you crave for, and that's when you'll start to have depression, sadness, because you cannot do anything to satisfy your craving. That's why people become sad when they could not do anything anymore because they are old or because they are sick. So this is what you have to think, to see that if you follow this path, will happen eventually, sooner or later. One day your body will be incapacitated. Then what can you do? Once your body cannot do what you crave for, then you just run out of luck. You just have to live with nothing. And if you're not used to meditate, then you feel miserable when you cannot have sensual pleasure.
Okay.
That's the reason. That's the reason why the Buddha left the palace and became a monk, because he saw an old man, he saw a sick man and a dead man, and a monk. Then he knew that his body will one day become old, sick, and die, and he know it's gonna be miserable. So he wants to find a way how he can be able to live with aging, sickness, and death without any misery. And the only way is to become a monk and practice meditation. Because when you can achieve meditation practice, you can have peace and happiness and contentment. So you don't need the body to give you any satisfaction. Then whatever happens to the body will not affect the mind. The mind can still be happy without the body.
So, Prajan, meaning that when I becomes old and become sick and say lying down on the bed and I cannot do anything by myself, but as long as I can still
meditate.
So I will be able to find happiness through meditation.
Yes, you can be happy once you have mastered your meditation, and you can keep your mind calm anytime you want. So you can be happy, peaceful, and contented, regardless of the situation with the body.
Okay.
And this is what we're gonna have to go through, all of us here. Everybody is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. And this is the formula the Buddha asks us to constantly remind ourselves. Once we are born, we are all subjected to aging, sickness, and death, and separation from our loved ones. And we could not escape from this. So we have to prepare for this test. It's like an examination we have to take sooner or later. And the way to pass it with flying color is to develop mindfulness and meditation and wisdom.
Yeah, and Prajan, may I just check you? So far, my meditation practice, I only use the sitting postures and walking postures. So may I check, Prajan, why does the Buddha includes the lying posture? Is it because the Buddha, is it for when one ages and one is not able, no more mobile, one was lying down, let's say lying down on the bed and do the meditation in lying posture?
Well, for beginners, when the mindfulness is still weak, if you use the lying posture, you will fall asleep easily, because this is too comfortable to go to sleep. So you will more likely go to sleep than go into meditation, go into jhana. So you stick to the other three postures: standing, walking, or sitting.
So far, I've not used standing posture. So in what situations do we use standing posture?
When you get tired of walking and sitting, then you use standing.
Okay.
It's up to you. It's no requirement that you have to do all three of them. Usually, I think for most practitioners, they use the two most popular one is sitting and walking.
Yeah. So I normally would alternate between sitting and walking. When I find that I'm not able to focus on the photo or on the breath, then I'll switch to walking meditation using the Buddha. And when I find that there is enough Buddha, then I go back to the sitting postures again.
Yes, or if the situation requires that you cannot walk or sit and you can only stand, like if you're standing in the subway, in a subway, then you have to stand up and then use standing position for your meditation. You can stand and recite the mantra while you ride on the train, standing.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So when I'm waiting for the train, I will just recite Buddha, Buddha. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So sometimes it depends on the situation, which position is suitable for that instance, then you use that particular instance. It's not really meditation, it's mindfulness, but it's one and the same thing. When we talk about mindfulness and meditation, we're using mindfulness. We're doing mindfulness. But to get the mind to become still, you need the sitting position. You want the body not to do anything or move, because when you have to move the body, it's the mind that has to do the work.
I actually use Buddha when waiting on a train so that the mind is occupied and so that the mind will not be looking around at the commuters or anything else. So I just to keep my mind occupied.
Yes, it can help you keep your mind calm and not frustrated waiting for something,
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Prajan.
All right. Next, Ao So Singh from Malaysia. Hi. How are you? Can you unmute? Ao So Singh. Okay. Yeah, you can speak now.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Good evening to you.
May I ask a question or two?
Go ahead, please.
When I have my foot reflexology session, usually I let go of my body and I relax and let go of my body. Then my mind will look at my feet. Then my feet were very painful. I don't feel the pain. I just watch the feet as if the feet were not mine. Then during other sessions, like when I go for my facial many years ago, when they have the painful session, pricking the pimples or the blackheads, then I let go, then I relax and let go, I don't feel the pain. Is this difference between physical and mental pain?
No, you leave the physical pain alone. Don't react to the physical pain. Sometimes we have aversion when we have the physical pain, and that's causing us stress in the mind. We can prevent this stress by not reacting to the physical pain, just merely observing or merely knowing the physical pain. And if you could not stop the mind from reacting, then you need to use the mantra to stop it from reacting. Like keep reciting Bhutto, 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 Bhutto.
I usually relax and let go of my body. I don't feel the pain at all.
If you can let go, then there's no need to use the mantra. But for some people, they cannot yet let go. They still want to get rid of the physical pain. Then they have to use the mantra to pull the mind back from the physical pain. Okay.
Okay. My second question is, normally the mindfulness can help our meditation, but our meditation also can support our mindfulness, right? Because after a good sitting, I get up, my mindfulness become automatic. Can both help each other, right?
Well, it's the same thing. When you meditate, you use mindfulness. Also, it's mindfulness all the time. But sometimes we just differentiate. When we're sitting, we say we are meditating. When we're not sitting, we are developing mindfulness. But we're actually developing mindfulness at all postures. And the reason why we sit is because sitting is the best position for you to get into jhana. to become still. To achieve success in your meditation, you have to sit still first. The body has to be still first before the mind can be still. But when you're doing things, you don't want to meditate also. But we don't call meditate, we just call being mindful, which is the same thing as being meditating. When you're sitting, you're being mindful of your breath.
Let's see. Normally, we can use both. Like when I sometimes walking, I use Budo. Then when I do my household chores, I'll observe my bodily action. So can combine.
Yes, you can
do
combine or you can alternate. Sometimes you might get tired of reciting Bhutto, and then you just keep watching what your body is doing. But you always have to keep watching your body anyway. If you don't, then you might doing things wrong. So you always have to be watchful of your body action. But sometimes you need the mantra to also bring the mind to stay with the body action. Sometimes you might be working, then your mind might run away and think about the past or think about the future. So you want to bring it back. So sometimes you might need to use the mantra also.
Normally morning mindfulness is very strong because I'm alone. Then I can follow very closely. But after going for exercise and talking with people, I come back, the mindfulness is not that strong.
That's right. Because you become involved with people and things, then you have to think. Then your mind start to run all over the place instead of being focused on one thing or one point. It keeps going to many different things at the same time. So it's in action. When the mind is in action, it can become restless and agitated eventually. But try to do as much mindfulness as you can, especially when you're alone. When you start the day, getting up, you're alone, getting up from the bed, do whatever you have to do. This you can do mindfulness practice. It's a good way to start the day with, and see how long can you keep your mindfulness going. And see, as soon as you start to talk with people, meeting people, then you start to lose your mindfulness. But you can keep your mindfulness by being mindful of what you think or say to people.
That's right. Sometimes when people say something, complain about others, I just hear what they say and then I don't answer.
Yeah, just listen
answer.
And reply as little as possible. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Alfredo from Sao Paulo. Hi, Alfredo. Are you cold today?
I wonder.
Mm-hmm.
A little.
A little, okay.
Yes. My practice is okay.
Good. Mindfulness all day long?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You can do this alone because you live alone. It's easy for you to do it, right?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't happy all day, né, Bante? Às vezes I feel lonely, né? It's not good, né, Bante? It's difficult too.
When you feel lonely, that's because you have craving for company.
Yes.
When you don't have company, you start to feel lonely. So you have to meditate. You have to stop thinking about people or company you want to have.
Yes.
But the mind is very quick though. The craving is very quick and can come very quickly without any warning.
Yes.
So you have to be constantly mindful or alert for the craving. As soon as you feel lonely, you have to start reciting the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto.
Yes.
Then the feeling of loneliness can disappear once you start reciting the mantra.
Yes. I did a academy in my house.
What did you do at the house?
Academic. Gymnastic.
Academic or gymnastic?
Yes.
I see. Okay. Weightlifting.
I bought any machines.
Exercise machine. Good.
Yes.
Good. Good for your health.
Yes, it's good. Bicycle, to bicycle to.
Yes.
To legs.
So you have the gym inside your house now, huh?
Yes.
Good.
It's different in house.
Okay. When you do this, you can also use mindful. You can use mantra also. Bhutto.
Yes. Very good.
So you can do both for the mind and the body also. You exercise for the body and you use the mantra for the mind. So you're exercising both the mind and the body at the same time.
Yes.
The more mindfulness that you have, the stronger the mind will be. The stronger for it to resist the cravings and the defilement.
Yes.
Okay.
On absorption in apana absorption. Not problem, but it's difficult to stay in absorption very time, but much time,
Yes, because you don't have much mindfulness.
Yes.
So if you do more of the mindfulness before you meditate, then you will be able to stay longer in meditation.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
so
Bhante.
The Buddha said mindfulness is very important at all times, at all instants.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Good.
All right, I'll go to Ramya and Anura from New Zealand.
Good evening, Ajahn. Yeah.
Must be early in the morning for you, huh?
Yeah, just 1:40 in the morning.
1:40.
It's cold winter days. This is
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good discussion on mindfulness, Ajahn. So is it correct to say that if someone is forgetful, that means he lacks mindfulness?
Yeah, that's right. You get Alzheimer's because you forget. You're not mindful with whatever you do, or mindful of the time that you're in. So you don't know where you are. You let your mind just run away from the present. Your mind can be maybe dreaming about the past or whatever, and you're not knowing what's going on right now in the present, because you don't have the mindfulness to bring the mind back into the present. But if you have mindfulness and you can stay in the present, you will never forget, because whatever you do, you'll know what you do. See, like when you lock your house, you know exactly that you have locked the house. And a few minutes later on, if you think, you can still remember, yes, I locked the house. But if you lock the house while I'm thinking about some other thing at the same time, maybe a few minutes later on, after you left the house, you might wonder, did I lock the house or not?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So
with the teacher, meditation teachers, even if they're all 90 years old, they still their mind is still very bright. They're still not forgetful at all.
That's true. And that's why we haven't had any meditation teacher having dementia or any other neurological condition, right?
No, right, because you have mindfulness to prevent this sickness to appear.
So is it possible to, because one of my friends recently diagnosed with dementia, so he used to be a meditator. So is it worthwhile to encourage him to go back to meditation, or is this
well, he knows for himself, This is something you don't have to teach. And we all grown ups, we know what we should do. It's just that we're too lazy to do it, that's all.
Mm. Mm.
Unless he asks you for your advice, then yes, you can tell him. But if he just doesn't ask you for any advice and you go tell him, he might not appreciate what you tell him either. So better just to wait and see. If he needs your advice, then you can tell him.
Mm. Mm. And is it correct to say, I think I find that, I mean, if our body is healthy, then we lose mindfulness. But if our bodily sickness, say tummy ache or headache, then we always, and the mind is in the body always, so looking at the pain. So is that is one kind of mindfulness?
No.
Can we consider it?
See, when the body is
coaching?
comfortable, we tend to be lacking in mindfulness because we don't have any problem to deal with.
Yes. Yeah.
But when we are sick, we're becoming more mindful because we have to deal with the sickness. So sometimes when you're in trouble, you require more mindfulness to deal with the troubles. But when there's no trouble, then there's no need to use mindfulness as much. That's why practitioners tend to go to look for places where it's harsh for them. You know, like in the forest, in places where there's not much comfort. There are dangers all around you. This condition will then keep the mind alert, mindful, automatically. But when you're in a safe place, like in your house, then you don't feel I need to be alert or mindful, because you know there's nothing to come and hurt you. But when you're outside, then you're becoming more mindful because you don't know who or what's gonna do something to you or not. So the situation is, if you're in a discomfort situation, you have to be more mindful, because you have more stress coming up, and you need mindfulness to reduce the stress. But when you're in a comfort zone, then there's not much stress for you to deal with. So you don't need any much mindfulness to deal with your stress. But if you're a practitioner, you know that sooner or later in the future you might have to run into some discomfort situation, and you want to deal with it now, learning how to deal with it before you get into the real situation. Then you might have to go look for some discomfort place to practice. Like when we meditate and we sit until the body starts to become painful, and instead of getting up, we want to push. We want to continue on and try to see if we can use the mind, teach the mind to adapt, to stop the aversion to the painful feeling. Because if we can stop the mind from being averting this painful feeling, then we can live with the painful feeling without any stress. The stress comes from our aversion for the painful feeling. Then we can live with the painful feeling. Then when next time in the future when we get sick, the painful of the body will not cause us any stress. And we don't even need to use painkillers either. We don't need to have to take painkillers, because the mind is calm and peaceful and can deal with the pain, can handle the pain, can take the pain.
Yeah.
Does this answer your question about?
Yeah, that's clear. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. Very question. Yeah.
So about mindfulness, Ajahn, after meeting people, to keep the mind calm, good to practice to say anicca Dukkanatta as well.
Yes, there are many different methods of using mindfulness or raising mindfulness. You can recite Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, which is also wisdom, because you say everything is Anicca. Anatta means uncontrollable. Things are not always under your control. Sometimes when you cannot control things, then you just have to let go. If you try to hang on to something you cannot control, then you can become stressful. So when you recite Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, you are also using mindfulness and wisdom together at the same time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tangaja.
Okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
go to Oregon now with Steph. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Okay, what time is it in Oregon?
6:45 a.m.
6:45. Early bird,
Yes.
huh? Okay, anything?
No, just really happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go to Ninh. She's in Wat Yan. Hi, Ninh.
Ajahn. Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn.
Okay, how's your internet connection? Good, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is good. Can you hear me,
Yes.
Ajahn?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Ajahn, for welcoming me in Wat Yan. Today is the third day of my stay in Wat Yan. The first 2 days, I still cannot adapt with the fan, with the fan.
The fan.
But this morning, Ajahn said that I should be friend with nature. I should be friend with nature, with the wind. And this evening, in chanting hall, when start raining, I feel my heavy headache disappear, and I can get my concentration back on track. While others did chanting, I keep on meditating, and I can watch the beginning and the end of my breath very, very well. And that is the time when my head become warm and light and the headache disappear. So thank you. Today my mindfulness become more stronger to resist craving for the air condition that I used to live with. Thank you for the advice this morning that I should be friend with the nature.
And try to live with nature. Try to live with nature.
Yeah, this evening I can conquer my craving for air condition. I don't want to be painful for craving for that sensual pleasure. That's why, yeah, this evening I'm very happy. And also thank you for the ice, because I can find the ice container always full in Kuti. So I can drink ice every time I want. That's actually maybe that is the other one of my craving, because I drink ice every day in my house. But yeah, today I'm very, very happy because I can live with the fan now. With the fan, I can live with the fan, and it's okay. I will get used to, and I'm now very healthy and don't get headache anymore. So this is because of the mindfulness that Ajahn said, that if we have mindfulness, so we can resist the craving for all the sensual pleasure. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Keep meditating. Keep developing mindfulness. Okay.
Yeah,
and try
sure.
to live with whatever you have or you get. Try not to Try not to change nature. Try to live with nature. Try to live with the hot, the heat, the cold, or whatever that comes along.
Yeah, thank you. I love the place. I love the place and also the hospitality. Thank you for the hospitality and for the advice. Every time I want to ask Ajahn, Ajahn always give the advice in the morning after breakfast. That's why I'm very thankful. I will spend my time wisely, and I will practice seriously, and I will keep on meditating here because that is the purpose I come here.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, we'll go to Philip from Malaysia. Hi, Philip.
Hi, Ajahn. Good Ajahn. I hope you're doing well. I'm just happy to be listening in.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any. Actually, maybe I have actually one question. Since we're on mindfulness, often I hear some meditators talking. They have been practicing for many years. That they don't experience anything or they don't feel anything. Is it possible that some people maybe they go through their whole life practicing without even reaching the jhana stage?
Possibly. It's not easy to get into the jhana state unless you are a monastic or somebody who lives in, devoted your whole life to this meditation practice. If you still have to do other things together at the same time, then it's not easy for anybody to get into jhana that way.
Okay. Yeah.
But there are some exceptions to the rules also. Some people who might have developed strong mindfulness in the past, they might be able to meditate and get into jhana in 5 minutes, or not even meditating. They're just simply sitting alone, and not thinking. Then suddenly the mind enters into jhana, like the Buddha when he was young. One day he was sitting under a tree alone, and all his servants, they went to do some other work, left him alone. And when there's nobody around him, his mind suddenly entered into jhana.
Okay.
But if this doesn't happen, then it means you don't have enough jhana. So you have to keep enough mindfulness. So you have to keep working on your mindfulness. Okay.
Thank you,
Next, Samanji from Sri Lanka.
Hello, Ajahn. How are you?
Good. Any question tonight?
Yes, I have about 10 questions.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Now, when we practice mindfulness throughout our day, I mean, we stay attentive to whatever we are doing. Like, do we need to reflect how well we maintained mindfulness at the end of the day? Whether we did it?
No need to really, because you don't want to think, you want to stay empty your mind. So there's no need to think unless there's some problem that you have to think to solve. But if you don't have any problem to solve, then there's no need to go reflect.
Okay.
Continue with mindfulness. Continue with not thinking, better than thinking. Think only when you really have to.
Okay. Then no need to think about whether we went, whether we did it well or wrong at the end of the day. Okay. Okay. My second question is I always think about animals that are being slaughtered and feel so sorry for them. I have been having this feeling bad when animals get slaughtered, for meat, even as a child. Like every morning I wake up with the thought that while we sleep, many animals get killed to satisfy human taste buds. And Ajahn, I feel sad because I cannot do anything about it, and I can't get over the sadness though. I feel ashamed of humanity because we kill other beings to satisfy our taste buds. How can I overcome this feeling?
Well, you have to accept that this is the law, the working of the law of karma. The law of this animal must, in the past life, have killed some animals themselves. So now they end up being an animal instead. So this is the work of action and consequence of one's action, which we could not look, we don't have the ability to look back to the past to see what causes this animal to become an animal and to become killed and be killed. But if we study the law of karma, generally speaking, then we understand if you kill somebody for food, one day you're gonna end up being killed by somebody for food in your future, in your future lifetime.
If we can save them from being slaughtered, is it okay to do that? But
yes,
we can't save all.
You cannot save all.
Maybe.
This is one of the Buddhist charity practices. Some in Thailand, people sometimes go to slaughterhouse and buy.
When we do that,
and save their lives. Or people go to the fish market and buy fish or crabs and then put them into the sea or the river to save their lives. But you know, they're gonna end up being eaten up by other animals anyway. This is the way of, this is the way of the world we live in.
Also, Tanajan, can we bestow metta on these animals? I mean, to reduce their suffering? Will that work? Because we can't save all of them. So can we bestow metta on them so to reduce their suffering? I'm just thinking, will that work?
Metta means not to hurt them, see. But you cannot stop other people from hurting animals.
No, just metta, just bestow metta on them. Like
what do you mean metta? What do you mean metta?
Like thinking.
No, thinking.
Kind of bestow metta on them, like to think and wish that they will feel less pain. They'll undergo less suffering at the time of their death or something. So we can't do anything to help them.
You have to do the action.
That's their karma.
Yes, you have to do the action to show your metta, not just thinking about it.
Okay. And also my next question is also related to this metta thought, about loving kindness, Thanajan. Can we change another person's negative behavior and harsh treatment towards us only through cultivating absolute metta thoughts towards that person? In other words, can bestowing 100% metta on someone make that person's behavior towards us completely change?
Well, there is no fixed formula here. Sometimes you can, sometimes you might not be able to. It depends on the person that you deal with. If the person is hell-bent on hurting you, no matter how much metta you show them, you might not change them. But you can try, like the Buddha, he did with Devadatta. Devadatta tried to kill the Buddha 3 times, I think, but the Buddha never reacted, never retaliated. And then eventually Devadatta came to his sense and said he's in the wrong, he did the wrong thing, and he sought forgiveness from the Buddha for his action. Amen. The best way is just not to retaliate. The Buddha said, don't retaliate when somebody treating you bad, because retaliation will not stop people from treating you bad. When you retaliate, then they're coming back to you for more. But if you stop and let them do whatever they want to do, when they get tired of it, then they'll stop eventually.
Also, Thanajan, do we always have to help others if we are in a position to do that?
Can you speak louder, please?
Do we always have to help others if we are in a position to do that?
The Buddha said you should help yourself first before you help other people. But once if you're well, and you can afford to help other people, then you help other people next. But first, you have to look after yourself first.
Look after ourselves means, Thanajan, maybe like when it comes to
physically
maybe
and
foods or
mentally.
whatever, everything, physically
Physically
and
and
mentally,
mentally.
everything.
If you want to look after your mind, you have to become enlightened
Okay.
first before you can go and help other people to become enlightened.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my next question is like in the Noble Eightfold Path, the fifth one is right livelihood. Like selling animal for its food is considered a wrong livelihood, and selling animal flesh too then becomes wrong. Not Anaja?
Well, any kind of livelihood that hurt other beings, we should avoid.
Yeah.
Directly
And,
or indirectly even.
And if selling animal flesh is a wrong livelihood, and at the end buying animal flesh too appears to be wrong, but what the Buddha had said was people can consume flesh only if certain conditions are met. But if selling animals for meat is wrong, if it's a wrong livelihood, how can eating animal flesh be justified at any cost?
Well, see, when you make a livelihood, if you deal with people's life, you're hurting them, right? But when you buy meat in the market that's already dead, you're not the one who did this cruelty to the animal. It's someone else who did it. You only just bought the meat once they are being sold on the market.
Okay, Nanaja. My next question is, I have two more questions. Do I have the time? Can I?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. The Buddha advised kings, during his time, Buddha advised the kings only when they sought his advice, and he did not interfere with matters of governance. Why is that? Why didn't he always guide them in the correct path?
Can you repeat the question again?
I mean, during Buddha's times, he only advised kings, only when they sought his advice. But he never interfered with matters of governance. Why did he follow this method? Why didn't he directly advise kings or others when it comes to matters of governance?
Because he doesn't want to interfere in the affair of the world. But he can give advice if someone seeks for his advice.
Okay. Otherwise, whatever wrong that happens outside, the Buddha will not interfere.
Well, the Buddha look at everything as anatta, see, so
okay.
He let things be. But if someone wants to seek his advice, then he give it. Even teaching the Dhamma, he doesn't go and teach people who doesn't want to listen to his Dhamma talk.
Unless they are ready to listen.
Yeah, if they're not ready to listen, then it's useless because they won't listen, or if they listen, they won't take up the practice anyway.
Okay. And Thanajan, my last question is like, how can we handle subtle forms of discrimination, gender-based discrimination, using Buddha's teachings? Maybe at the workplace or at home or in the society.
Just look at everything like you look at the weather. Can you control the weather? Can you prevent the weather from raining or from snowing or from sun shining? This is the same way with people. You cannot control people's action. Let them do whatever they do. Just try to stay away from them. That's all.
Okay, Thanajan.
If they hurt you, try to stay away from them. It's like when the rain hurts you, you stay away from the rain, if you can. But if you cannot stay away from the rain, then you just have to get wet. Sometimes you cannot avoid bad people, then you just have to accept. This is part of being born. See, the Buddha said, once you're being born, you're subjected to things that you don't like to meet, like aging, sickness, and death, or separation from the ones you love, meeting things that you don't like, or people you don't like. But you can rise, you can teach your mind to rise above these things by being calm and not reacting to them. Let them be. Our problem is we try to change people when we don't like them. We want to change them to conform to our liking, and sometimes we cannot do it.
Okay.
So the best way is just to leave people alone, leave things alone. Treat everything like nature. Everything is work of nature.
Sometimes it's difficult, like when it affects our work, however much we try, Ajahn, to stay calm.
Because you don't see the stress that you're creating for yourself yet.
Okay,
Once you don't react and leave things alone, you feel peaceful and calm. Then you can see the difference when you try to react and not reacting. See? And then eventually you'll come to the decision it's better not to react. When you not react, not try to change things, then your mind remain peaceful and calm. But when you try to react or change things, then you can become stressful. The Buddha says this is dukkha. From your craving or your desire to change people or things, when you cannot change them. If you can change them, then yes, go ahead. If they come and ask for your advice, whether doing this thing is good or bad, then you can tell them.
Okay. That's all for today, Ajahn.
Okay.
Nice talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, nice talking to you. And don't hesitate anytime you have more questions, just come back in, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next, we go to Bangkok with B. Ravin. B.
Hi, Prajan. Good evening.
Okay.
Hope you're doing well.
Yes.
Prajan, just on the topic of, just letting everything be the force of nature, I was just reflecting that I find it quite difficult to manage because, when we deal with people, we deal with so many different types of people. And I try to find a middle way where I use moderation, where try and ignore as much as possible. And I think that does help me. But in a few cases, sometimes we have to intervene or interject a certain person of their actions. And sometimes conflict is unavoidable. So is my understanding correct that as long as I remain in the normal sensual realm, not becoming a monk or becoming a practitioner, this sort of conflict is unavoidable? It can only be reduced, but not completely unavoidable.
Well, I don't know. You have to prove it for yourself, I guess.
Because I was just reflecting upon your words that everything should be a force of nature. Don't try to change people. And I think
I'm speaking on regarding to your mind. If you want peace of mind, then you just have to leave everything alone. But if you still have to deal with people and things, then you just have to ask yourself, are you willing to become stressful? And because when you deal with people or things, you generally become stressful, right? Because sometimes you cannot get what you want.
Sometimes, but not every time.
It depends on the different situations. So normally we try to, if there are things we can do without being stressful, we do it. But when things start to become stressful, then we stop and let go, let it be. So use the stress as the measurement as to how much you can do and how much you cannot do. When you start to do something and you start to become stressful, then this is not worth it. Just tell yourself it's not worth it.
Okay, so use stress as a measurement. If we're doing it and we're not stressed, then that's okay.
That's right. And not hurting other people at the same time also. Whatever action you do should be good, helpful, beneficial to other people. Then this is good action, good karma. But whatever action you do and hurt other people, then this is bad karma. Don't do it.
So even if we are telling someone we have good intentions for them, we see them, walking down a wrong path, we tell them, but they don't listen. We just have to let it.
Well, it's not your business to tell them in the first place. Unless they ask for your advice, then you can tell them.
So
think about yourself being told by somebody what not to do. How would you feel like when you didn't seek that for their advice? See, mind your own business, right? You would say that. So why do you want to tell people what to do? Why not tell yourself what to do? You get the benefit by telling yourself what to do and not what to do. You don't get any benefit from telling other people what to do or not what to do. So why bother? It's your defilement. Your defilement wants to tell people what to do, but your defilement doesn't want to tell yourself what to do.
So just move everything to myself. Just ignore everything else. Focus on
improving yourself.
How to improve myself.
Improve yourself and do yourself. Make yourself free from stress first of all. Then you can help other people by watching your mind, whether it's causing you any stress or not. If it causes you any stress, then you should just reduce your action or stop entirely if you have to.
Yes, I usually try and reflect. If I start to feel it's not worth my effort, then I just let it go. And I find it much easier as well because I don't have to stress about things beyond my control.
And you have to also see if your action is welcome or not. If you're not welcome, then don't do it. Yeah.
So was it something similar to what Thanachan just said, that you wouldn't go around giving people a Dhamma talk unless they ask for it?
That's right. Here I'm in this room and you all came in by yourself. I didn't ask you to come in here, right?
No.
I didn't go call you up early and send you an email. Don't forget to come and join this this meeting. You can come and go anytime you like. If you're interested, you are welcome to join. If you're not interested, okay, you don't have to join. No hard feeling.
Oh. I didn't think of it that way. I always thought, wow, we are all here listening to a good Dhamma talk from Thanachan, but actually we all came voluntarily.
Yeah, on your own will. No one forced you to come in here.
Yes, Prajhan. I think that's very good advice. I think the takeaways is one, focus on myself primarily, and secondly, if I were to convince or talk to someone, see whether my actions are welcome or not. If they're not, then just forget it.
That's right. Even if you meant well, but to them they might not look at it that way. You are interfering with their life, for instance.
So it's just ubekha and just
just ubekha, equanimity. Okay.
Yeah, that's clear, Prajhan.
Okay.
Thank you for your clarification.
All right. Next, we have a newcomer here. I think Kani. Kani, where are you from? Can you hear me? Khanni. Kani.
Yeah, hello, Ajahn. Thanachan, this is Saket here.
Saket,
so,
okay.
On Zoom.
You're outdoor somewhere, huh?
Yes, that's right. I'm in the Bay Area in California.
Okay.
And
sunny day.
First, yes, the sun just came up. It's morning and the sun came up and looks like a good day ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, Thanachan, I wanted to thank you because a month and a half ago, my in-laws had come, my wife's parents, and we were wondering how we will, how about our practice and then caring for them, and how does all of that work together? But I think your advice helped us very much of focusing on metta and, focusing on giving care and love. And they went back very, very happy. And it's a little difficult for me now to sit as long for meditation after a 1.5 month break. But at the same time, I also feel that in some ways my meditation is even better, I feel, as a result of maybe of just focusing on giving and being there for them. So just want to thank you very much for that, Ajahn.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ajahn, for all the help and support that you've been giving us. I have a question regarding one of the fetters for stream entry, which is the religious beliefs and rituals. And I was trying to understand what it means and why is it a fetter and how to get rid of it.
Well, people sometimes when they suffer, when they're not happy or sad because of something that they cannot control, like maybe they lose a job or something like that, and they don't know how to deal with the stress, and they thought that by performing some rituals, they might get a new job, and then this will then help eliminate the stress from their mind. See, but for a Sotapanna find out the cause of stress is from his cravings for a job. So if you don't want to have any stress, just stop your craving for a job. Don't look for a job and try to live without a job. Go become a monk instead, or become a homeless, become a beggar, or whatever. Accept your lot that you are out of work. So you don't have to do any rituals to alleviate your stress, your suffering, because you know the cause of your suffering comes from your craving, your desire to get a new job, for instance. So you might have to go and consult a fortune teller or somebody, and this is like a ritual. And the fortune teller might say, "Oh, you have to sacrifice a pig or something." You have to think of the ancient time, this ritual, how people in the ancient time sometimes perform rituals to ward off danger or problems. But with the Sotapanna, he knows that the problem is in the cravings. That you have to understand that you live in the world of impermanence. Things can come and go, rise and cease. And you have to be able to curb your craving when you lose something and accept the truth. If you can accept the truth, then and have no craving for things to be otherwise, then you won't have any stress. You can still be happy being under whichever situation you are in. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Ajahn. So I was asking, many times people go to temple and they say, okay, God, I wanted to pray to you, but please help me with this situation. Is that also a kind of rituals we should be,
Yes, because you ask for somebody's help because you cannot help yourself, and you feel bad. You want to get rid of these bad feelings. So you hope maybe somebody can help you with this. But the truth is the bad feeling arises from your desire your craving or desire for something that you lose or something that you don't have. And you cannot get it by yourself. So you have to rely on some other supernatural source, like God or somebody.
So the idea is getting rid of the desires.
That's right.
With,
That's right. The desire is the
and
cause of your dukkha. And our desire is for things to be good all the time. See, when things go sour, then we start to have stress because we want things to come back and be good again. And when it doesn't come back and be good, then we continue to have stress until we can no longer bear it. So we might have to rely on some other people or things like rituals or prayer or whatever.
that makes it clear. Thank you. Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah. See, Sotapanna see anicca in everything that in the world, especially the things like money, wealth, and fame and happiness. These are all anicca in the eyes of a Sotapanna. They come and go, they rise and cease. So when a Sotapanna loses something, he accepts the truth that we don't always have it all the time. Happiness doesn't last forever. You're happy today, and tomorrow you can be sad. Then a few days later, you can be happy again. So you look at it as anatta, as a work of nature, something that you cannot always control. But you can control your craving and your desire, and teach your mind to accept things as they come, as they are. And when you can accept the good and the bad at the same time, then you won't have any stress. You won't have any bad feelings. So you don't need to go and do any rituals to make you feel good.
Correct, Ajahn. So many times I feel like I'm happy, and then there is a moment of sadness, and I'm like, why am I sad? Because I have everything that I need. There's nothing much I need. Everything is peaceful, relaxed. But then something I can't figure out why I'm sad. But then after some time, I become normal, and then after some time, I become happy. So it just comes and goes and comes and goes. And I'm like, these days I just keep observing, and
Yes,
that's all.
if you could not find the source of your anxiety or worry, then you just have to accept that things are like this. Things come and go, rise and cease. Sometimes things go better, sometimes things go badly. This is the way things work in life. So if we can accept the change of things, then you won't feel any sad or bad.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Is that all for? Okay. Nice talking to you. Hope to see you again next time. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we'll go to Penang with Christine Koe. Christine, where have you been? You've been gone for a few months now, I think.
I have no homework, so after I got homework to submit to Tanajan, so I come back.
What did you do?
I just came back 2 weeks from monastery with 8 precepts.
I see. Good. Did you enjoy it?
Very well, very, very well. It's just like wow from Tan Ajahn said the result.
Okay, good. You should go back, do more then.
Yeah, because when I was there, I contemplate a lot of Dhamma. It just come in, I mean, here and there. So first of all, I contemplate on the food, then how disgusting, then I stop, then I contemplate on the hardness, softness, or the watery. Then when when I take the food, then I can see, the feeling is totally anicca when I put into the mouth. Then when I really I into the walking meditation, the result, then I see the cessation of the sankhara. Then I know this is anicca. Then I see dukkha and anatta. Of course, it's very short of the mindfulness. Then I feel this is very happy. Then I feel, oh, the 5 khandhas is really burden me.
Okay. Your sound is off. I could not hear you. Okay, you're back now.
You cannot hear me.
Now I can. Now I can. Yes, not before.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe I stay closer now, can?
Yes, can hear you
Oh,
well.
I repeat again. I said because when I'm doing walking meditation, then I see the cessation of my sankhara. Then I can see the peacefulness because the the cessation of the beginning is like anicca. It's very, very fast for my thought. So the sankhara is subside. Then I see, oh, the feeling of my wandering thoughts follow me many, many years over the decades. So I can stop the thought. Then I see,
Okay.
oh, this is out of my control. It's like, oh, this is anatta. So I
Mhm.
feel, oh, this is Dhamma.
Yes, you understand anicca, anatta, how things work.
Yeah. How is it goes, anicca, dukkha, anatta. So all is because of the sankhara. So I can stop and I know, oh, this is so burdened, this is Dhamma. Then I feel very, very, very happy and peaceful.
Okay, good. You have
Yeah.
to be constantly looking at everything as anicca and anatta. Everything keeps changing all the time, and anatta you cannot control them.
Yeah.
But you can live with them. You can live with the change. You can live with whatever happens. Okay. In order to do this, you have to do a lot of mindfulness and meditation to stop your mind from reacting to things. Instead of reacting, accepting, teach the mind to accept rather than react. Accept everything that comes, good or bad, right or wrong, hot or cold. Just accept. Then there will be no problem. It's only when you don't want to accept, that's when you start to have problems. Right? Okay, good.
So I hope that I can continue and the abbot has also say come back and practice.
Yes, good. Go back as much as possible.
Yes,
It's
sir.
good for
Yes,
your
sir.
mind. It's good for your mind.
Yes, then I feel wow, so happy and so light because without all the sankhara.
Yeah, because you stop reacting and you start to accept things instead.
Yes. Then now I really understand what is mindfulness. It's so powerful and so light and so happy.
Okay, good to hear that. Keep
Yes.
it up. Don't lose
Yes.
it.
Yes.
You have to keep doing it, or else when you stop, you'll lose it in a few days. You'll lose it.
Yes, and one of the Machi told me is like when the wheel keep turning so until one day I will lose it like the Dhamma wheel is like keep on turning the wheel.
Yeah, this is wisdom. It's turning on the wheel of wisdom. Your mind starts to think in terms of wisdom now, rather than delusion. Before you used to think in things in terms of self, me, my, and myself. Now you start to look in terms of anicca and anatta instead. No self.
Yes, sir. I will continue practicing. Thank you so much for your encouragement.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Next we'll go to Trevor from Toronto. Jordan already came in early. Did you see him on the screen?
Yes, I did, Tanajan. Thank you. Good morning. Good evening.
Yes.
Yes, it's always good to see Jordan looking so well and happy, and I know he's been busy wrapping up his course there with the language school. It's quite an intense program of study, and I hope he finishes that up and has some time to rest and get some energy back. And I know it's been a bit stressful. but yes, I have nothing to report here. I'm still on vacation, and trying to meditate regularly. I'm just, I had a couple of questions about, not about meditation per se, but about I guess, monastic life. And in particular, I was wondering, are families of monks expected or encouraged to contribute to the monastery in some way? We can't be there to, do things in person. Do the families help monasteries in other ways?
They are not required to, but they are welcome if they decide to do any contribution, but they are not required to do. It's up to them. It's up to the family whether they want to do any contribution, any charity or not. We don't require people to come and support. We leave it to their own volition.
And I don't suppose you're aware how many do and how many don't. I mean, in Thailand, is it a common practice among the families to give gifts to the monasteries?
Well, usually if you're Buddhist, then you've been raised to contribute, to give, to support the monastery, to support the temples. Just like other religion, if you're Catholic, you will support the church. If you're Muslim, you'll support the mosque. And this is something that you are taught when you grow up in the religious family. But for other people, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't do. It's up to them.
And okay. And then when a monk ordains in one place, are they able to move to another place eventually, or what is the expectation there?
Well, normally when a monk ordained, he has to be under the guidance of a teacher, the one who gave him the ordination. And the rule requires that he should stay with this person for 5 years before he could be free and go and study with some other teacher, unless if the person who's in charge or who teach the new monk allow him to go. If he asks for permission, like in the case of Jordan, he can ask for permission to go and study with some other teacher. But normally, some teacher will say, no, you have to stay with me for 5 years first before you. Yeah.
And how do they travel if they cannot handle money and things like that? Like once they ordain,
we have to find people who can carry the money for us and go with us. Then.
Okay, and things like documentation and so forth. If they need somebody to do some for immigration purposes or something, once they ordain, are they able to deal with paperwork still?
Yes, they can do that. We usually have a temple boy, somebody who will accompany the monk in case he has to use any money for things. The monks cannot carry money themselves, see? So we have to have somebody to carry the money for us, like to pay for taxi or to pay for documents or whatever.
And okay.
So usually in a monastery, we'll find somebody who will support the monks on these matters. So don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Well, then I sort of had a question when we were talking about metta and prayer. We were talking about the difference between. I'm just wondering, prayer. You pray for somebody. You're asking, for intervention to help that person or that animal or whatever you're hoping to help. But in metta, is it the same? Are you I know you're not asking for a God or someone to intervene, some power to intervene, but is metta, I guess I'm wondering what is the purpose of saying, may you be happy, may you be free from suffering? Is that going to help that person become happy and free from suffering? Is your metta helping other people?
No, metta means to have loving kindness toward other beings. And by saying, may all beings be well and happy, it's just a starting point in your mind. But you have to put it into action. If you want me to be happy, then you have to help me or do something for me when I need help from you, for instance. But not just merely thinking and wishing. You have to do the action itself. Like help somebody, help your son, for instance. If you help your son, and this means you're having loving kindness for your son. Not just by thinking, oh, Jordan, be happy, be well, and not doing anything at all when he needs your help. And this is not metta at all, not loving kindness. Loving kindness has to be put into practice, not just merely in thought only.
So the purpose of metta is to
be kind to other people, kind, helpful, loving. We call the word loving kindness. To be loving and kind to other beings.
Okay, but when we meditate, I was taught sometimes after meditation to take a minute and say, conjure up somebody who's been a benefactor or someone that you saw in the market the other day, or somebody who's a bit at odds with you, and say these words of goodwill, if you like, towards them. But that is for my own benefit. It's not for them. It's to open up channels of loving kindness, so to speak. Is that the idea?
The idea is to train your mind to have this attitude toward that person. Then you have to walk toward that person and actually doing it, right? Maybe you go to that person and say, I'm sorry for what I've done, or something. Not merely thinking. Thinking is just a starting point, like I say. You have to think first before you can do any action. So you have to teach your mind, okay, I did something wrong with this person. I should go and ask for forgiveness from this person. Don't be stubborn, don't be conceited, accept your fault and go say sorry, for instance. This is showing that you're having loving kindness toward that person. You did something wrong toward that person and you want to make amends.
Okay. And then you have the rains coming soon, right? The rain season, is that?
Yes, during a rainy season, the monks are required to stay in a monastery for 3 months without going anywhere, except for emergency reason. Like if your father gets sick, you can go and visit and look after your father. If your house, if the roof is broken and you need to go and buy some materials to fix the roof, then you can go to spend overnight. Yeah. But normally during this 3 months period, you're not supposed to go and spend your time overnight in other places.
And that starts when? In August, or when?
In July, it started.
Oh, in
July.
July.
Yeah, I think next month, about on the 21st, I think. But this varies from year to year because we use the lunar calendar. but it's usually around this time, July or August. The latest will be early August, and the earliest will be early July.
And that's when you actually do have your most of your rain in the.
Yes, this is the rainy season in Southeast Asia or India originally. The reason why they have this problem is because before the monks were required to stay in one place for 3 months during the rainy season, because before that the monks could go anywhere they want, and monks like to go to look for a quiet place to meditate. So they keep changing places. So when they travel, sometimes they have to walk across the field. And sometimes they walk across the field of farmers who start to plant rice or wheat. And then when they step on the rice or wheat that the farmer planted, then this causes damage to the plant. See? So the farmer then have to come and complain to the Buddha that your monk causing me us damages because they keep walking across my rice field or my wheat field. So the Buddha said, oh, from now on, monks should not go during the rainy season, they should stay put. That's the reason why we are forced to stay in the same place for 3 months. But after the rainy season is over, the crops have already grown up, then won't cause any damage. Then monks can allow to walk all over the place if they like. See, in the ancient time, people will not have cars or bicycles, anything like that. Monks usually walk. So sometimes they have to cut across the field to reduce the distance of walking.
And you, I've seen some of your talks on YouTube where you are speaking with foreign monks. Do they come to your monastery, or do you visit their monasteries, or how do those meetings get arranged?
Just like anybody who wants to visit somebody, they just go and go look and visit. So this monk, they might have heard about me and they want to see me and talk to me. So they just came and visit me.
They seem to have come in groups. Yeah, they had a group, I think, that day.
And they know the time that when I'll be meeting people. So they wait for the right time and come to see me. And so came to my monastery.
It sounded so beautiful, the trees and the birds in the background.
Yes, this is the place where Jordan will be staying. But I'm not staying up there. I'm not staying up on the mountain anymore. I moved down to the temple below, which is more not forestry, more like a town place.
It was just all I could hear the birds in the background. I'm thinking, that must be a delightful distraction to the noise compared to the noise of trucks and garbage trucks and everything that I get out my window.
That's right. The forest is more conducive for meditation practice.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for your guidance and for being with us and every week. And
you're welcome.
You're welcome. Wish very good health.
Okay, you're welcome, and your questions are always welcome. I think because it's beneficial for other people as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bless you.
Just don't worry about Jordan. I think he can handle himself. He can look after himself.
Yes, he'd probably be upset with me now that I asked all these questions.
No, he said no.
Apologies. Apologies. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. All right. I'll go to Indonesia with Intan. Hi, Intan.
Hi, Ajahn. Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes, how are you? Good?
Not so good.
Anicca,
I want to...
Anicca,
Yes.
impermanent.
Yes.
Body is
well.
body is impermanent. Sometimes it's well, sometimes it's sick.
Yes. Praja, I want to ask to Prajan. I have a unique dream. I dream I go to the forest temple. I meet two monks, and after I meet them, one of them asked me, "Do you want to be a Meiji? If you want to be a Meiji, we will provide anything for you. You just say you agree to be a Meiji, but after you be a Meiji, you come back to Indonesia and develop Buddha Sasana at there. You no need to worry about anything. You will get every facility from us. So at that time, I say, no, I don't want to be a Meiji. I just replied, I don't want to be a Meiji. But in my mind, at that time, I think if I want to be a Meiji, I just want be a Meiji and learn with Ajahn Suchart. I don't want another teacher. I don't want any facilities. If I choose to be a Meiji, I just want to follow Ajahn simple life and just stay at the forest and focus to be enlightened. Now, after that, when I wake up, I think, why I dream like that? Is this have a meaning?
It's because this is your subconsciousness. Your subconsciousness think like this. And so, for the benefit of other listener, Meiji means Buddhist nun, being a Buddhist nun. Okay. So in your dream, don't worry too much about it. It's just an indication how your subconsciousness thinks.
Okay.
It's not real, so don't let dream. Don't get into the delusion that this is real. Dream is dream. Reality is reality. You have to know how to separate them apart. Okay.
Okay.
But dreams might be pointing you to something or telling you about something also. So you just wait and see what happens from your dream. Whether it predicts you to do, maybe you will end up being a Meiji. Who knows? But you don't have to believe in your dream. Yeah, believe your dream. Just be neutral. Neither believe or disbelieve. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. We'll go to.
Thank you, Prajan.
You're welcome. We'll go to Toronto with Piao and Dr. Indira. Dr. Piao is busy now, huh? You have to unmute your microphone. You're still muted. Unmute. Okay, you can.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, good.
Okay. Good morning, Ajahn. Yes, he's with a patient. So I thank you so much. Learned so much listening to you. Yeah, we are practicing and moving forward. Yes, but we just had a bit of a setback last Tuesday, just after we listened and we joined the Zoom session, and then we were working around 2. We got this thing from our house alarm was going. So the house, somebody broke into and took lots of stuff. But, my mom was safe. So everything is good. Yeah.
Yes, so everything is good.
Yes. So a good thing is they took lots of stuff so they won't come back. So that's a good thing. But you put new locks and new alarms. So everything is good. Yes, Ajahn.
You just have to accept it. This is reality. I'll look at it as charity. You're doing charity.
That's what my children said. Think that you gave it to charity and some person is feeding their children with the money, all the jewelries. So yeah.
I'll pay you that. Maybe in your past life you stole something from other people.
That's what I thought. Maybe I stole something. So yeah. So we moved on.
As long as you're happy, that's good. As long as you're not sad, that's good.
And thank you so much. Like I was telling my husband, like maybe a year or two ago, I might have been upset, but like we learned to accept it and let go. It's just that the feeling somebody broke in and walked all over the house, pulled everything. For a moment, that kind of, but that too passed. Oh, here he is. I was telling him about what happened.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, they didn't take our precepts, precepts away. So that was not taken. So it's good.
Okay.
That's what he told the cops, and the cop was confused.
Everything was gone in a pillowcase.
Yeah, they took my pillowcase with all the jewelry.
Like the old way. Let's just went like that. It happens.
Yeah. So
Anicca,
also
Anicca, everything is
Anicca. Exactly.
We must have broken into someone's house one day in past
lives.
Yes.
You stole something from somebody. Now you
maybe I broke a cobweb maybe recently. We're cleaning up. Who knows?
Well, you have to look at whatever you have, one day you're going to lose it all.
Exactly. So, Tanajan, I have a question. When somebody asked about, like, sometimes when there is somebody doing something and you want to sort of say that it's not the right thing, Buddha said, like, parivarjana pahata, like that is from, like, avoidance. By avoidance, avoiding the situation, then you don't have to correct the person, but even if you don't like it, you can avoid and just
reduce your own
defilements. Is that that's
strategy?
A good strategy, isn't it?
Well, you have to weigh the consequences of your action or inaction. Which one give you more benefit or less benefit?
Okay.
So, if your action can produce more benefit than harm, then do it. Or if your inaction produce more benefit and less harm, then also you do that also. It depends on what the result of your action or inaction will produce.
Yes. Thank you, Tanajan. Thank you. You have anything?
And also how you feel also, whether you become stressful or not stressful. Also.
Yes.
If what you do or not do cause you to become stressful, then you might have to do something else.
Yes. Thank you, Tanajan.
Thank you.
Okay, is that all?
Yes, thank you so much. Seeing you and listening to you, it's just amazing because we cannot travel to Thailand, so these Zoom sessions help us so much. Thank you so much.
This is better than come to Thailand, because when you come to Thailand, I won't have the time to talk to you like this. Anyway.
True. I was telling her that.
He told me this.
Maybe short, like maybe we'll get a glimpse of you. Maybe
I'll just say hello and that's it, because there'll be other people waiting to come in.
Yes. Even here, a lot of people are now waiting in the queue, even in the Zoom.
Yeah. Okay then. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Go to Apalachita from Dubai. Have any more flooding?
Good evening, Ajahn. No flooding. The sun is very hot in Dubai, of course, now. So yes. So no flooding.
Good. And how are you? Good?
Yes, I'm practicing and realizing some moments feeling, yes, this is good, and some moments of, oh my God, this is so hard. And yet that swinging of frustration. But I suppose that is the process of learning. But
learning and accepting everything. Don't try to push things away, things you don't like. And when you cannot push it away, it can cause you more harm, more stress than accepting. Okay, take whatever it comes to you with equanimity, just merely accepting, merely knowing. If there's nothing else you can do, then just accept.
So on that note, there is something which perhaps triggered me, or I lost my center. Yes, one method would be just be equanimous, but is it worth also investigating what was it and what would I use to investigate that, or would I just avoid it and just go into just calming my mind?
If you want to investigate, you want the cause that caused your mind to be unhappy. And usually, according to the Four Noble Truths, is your craving or your desire for things to go the way you want it to go. When things don't go according to what you want it, then you become unhappy. So you just have to stop your craving and desire and let things come and go as they like.
So then at that moment to stop and question, like, what am I craving here? Like,
that's right. Let's ask yourself, what do I not, what do I want or not want?
That there's some element of I want it this way kind of in my.
Right. I want things to be like this, or I don't want things to be like this, which is causing you unhappiness, which make you unhappy or sad, or whichever the case may be.
Right.
So once you find out the cause that, okay, I don't want this person to be here, but you cannot get rid of this person now, okay, then you just have to leave him alone. Let him stay. Maybe your brother come and wants to stay for a few days and you don't want him to come.
Yes, but then it puts a big light on me to realize how much strong likes and dislikes I'm leading my life through. Like, it makes you think, like, I'm always judging. I like this one. I don't like this one. I want.
This is your defilement.
Yes. So
and the way to reduce this like and dislike is to meditate, to get to equanimity. Once you have equanimity, your like and dislike will disappear. And you can just accept things as they come or as they are. This is our problem. Our like and dislike are the problem. They are the defilement, or we call them craving or desire. When we like something, we want to have it. When we dislike something, we want to get rid of it. And sometimes we cannot get what we want or get rid of what we want to get rid of. Then we become stressful.
And most of these cravings are just like old habits.
Habits that we've been doing this for many countless of lives. So we have to reprogram the mind, not to like or dislike.
Yes.
And by the help of equanimity, by meditation. When you have equanimity, the like and dislike are temporarily suppressed. Then you can see the benefit of not having any like or dislike. You can take everything as they come. Then you can also use wisdom to say that things are not always the same. Things keep changing. Things that you come into involvement, they're not always the same. They come and go, they keep changing. And you just have to learn to accept them for what they are. This is anicca, and they are anatta. You cannot change them. They come as they like, because they are all work of nature. Like the sun, the rain, the snow, they come and go.
I mean, even me, like.
Or your feeling keep changing inside.
Everything
Your
inside.
emotion keep changing all the time. Someday you're feeling good, someday you're feeling bad, without finding out the reason what happened, what causes you to feel good or bad. But there are many factors that are causing these things to happen. But they're so complex that we don't really know which is which. So the best way is just to know that they keep changing and that we cannot control them. We just have to learn to accept them, that's all.
And to keep that determination that whatever I feel, I must act, keeping sila in mind, obviously, but
yes,
like,
with action, you have to make sure that you have to be in bound of the sila, not breaking the silas.
yes, even just mentally or verbally or anything, yes.
Yes, any action at all must not break the sila, must not break the precepts. Because breaking the precept will hurt you, will harm you.
Okay.
So if you cannot do anything, just don't do anything. Just be still. Go meditate, close your eyes and meditate, and forget about everything. Let everything be.
Everything just fall as it may. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. As
All
always.
right.
Thank you.
I'll go to Belinda from Singapore. Belinda, how are you? Any question?
Good evening, Ajahn.
You're listening
Yeah.
more now than talking, right?
Mm.
Because you start to accepting things more.
Mm.
When you accept things, then you don't have any question. When you accept things, then you start to have question. Why?
Mm.
Okay, so as long as you see things as they are, then there's no question. This is the way things are. That's the way they are. What can you do? Why do you want to ask why for?
Ajahn, I fill in the blank that why. It could be just karmic conditions, like everyone's story, like from burglary to people we meet. Sometimes we get nice people, sometimes we get difficult people. So I'm thinking, is it like past karma, or like if someone scolds us, we should think of it's a karmic conditions. There's so many past lives that we might done something unskillful. But then I thought, like, how much to strike a balance on that. You just have to meditate. Sometimes you just react in various conditions. Like, we just not easy to hold, not to react.
Because we don't accept things as they are. We don't
Yes.
understand that this is the nature of this world. The nature of this world is to have so many different things coming to you. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
I analyze my past and like, hey, there's so many things happen, so many things happening at the same time, and then I can't. It's too fast. Not that I want to react in a certain manner. It's like, and then I feel angry, and then I cannot forgive. I thought I forgive. It's like so long ago, but sometimes it's still stored in the body. It feels like that.
Because you cannot accept it.
Yes, like there's still like, hey, So
You
even though
don't-
I rationalize like, oh, there's karma and all, but somehow somewhere inside the mind still you still have to meditate. Just like that. Like all stories and all rationalization at the end is it helps a bit, but it doesn't thoroughly uproot the pain. Unless we do a lot more meditation and get to see everything is
Anicca,
anicca.
anatta.
Yes. And so then the mind did what I mean. So coming in today, like a lot of defilements, like should I watch a zombie movie or do I come in here? Then okay, no, I sit on a not zombie. Yes, that was the choice I made today. Yeah. Thank you so much for
Okay, thank you for coming
being with
in.
us.
Okay.
Thank you, Tanja.
All right. Next is Alvin from Malaysia.
Ajahn, today is one of my biggest tests of fear, the passing of my father today.
I see. And how do you feel?
I feel okay, but because before this happened, actually, I have this fear that my father moved on, even in the last few days. But when he went into coma yesterday, and when he passed away today, I feel that, I try to look at Anicca, Anatta, and Dukkha. And that actually keep me calm.
Yeah, give you
Keep
calm.
me calm.
The Buddha said this is normal. Death is normal. Aging, sickness, and death is normal. But we don't look at it as normal. See, that's why that's the problem. We don't see that this is part of the work of nature.
And one more thing is, I thought I need to be strong as well. I don't know whether this is just my intellect. This calm is coming. I'm still feeling calm. Whether it's coming from my intellectual thought or my really understanding of this Anicca, Anatta, and Dukkha. And one more thing.
It depends on both your mindfulness and your wisdom. If you have both of this, then you will always remain calm. Whenever you start to feeling sad, you have to start using the mantra or something to stop it, because you might start to have craving or desire.
I mean, something that I can't fight, right? I just have to accept.
Yeah, you just have to accept. If you accept, then there won't be any sadness or stress or anything. You just remain calm.
One more thing that I always hear is, don't be sad when somebody is passing. And I also have to show by example to my mother, my sisters, my relative, that we have to let the person go. Because when every time, what I've learned is, if you just be very sad and cry, the person it's hard for the person who is departing to let go, right?
That's because they don't train the mind for this situation. See, but if you have been training this for this situation ahead of time, when things happen, then you can remain calm. If you keep training yourself with mindfulness and keep contemplating of death and separation as something unavoidable, as something normal, and when things happen, then you don't feel any sadness or any agitation.
Well, what I've observed is most of them they just they didn't cry, but I don't know inside them whether they are.
That depends on each individual.
Yes.
Some have some built-in resistance to things like this, and they can remain calm. Some have less.
Yes.
So it's up to each individual. Each individual will react differently to the same situation.
Yes.
It's not your business to try to make them not to react. They have to. It's something that they have to train themselves. Nobody else can train them, do it for them. Okay. And it's too late now anyway. Things already happened.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to train it beforehand, long beforehand, or you have to train for the next death. That can happen. That can still happen. As long as there are people, there will be death.
Yeah. Get sick and die.
Yeah. That's why the Buddha taught us to constantly contemplating this, that aging, sickness, and death is normal, that it will happen to everybody.
Thanks.
Okay.
For all your remind. It's like you're reminding us about this. So I'm very grateful for this. So that
You're welcome.
Situation better than what I thought.
Well, wish the spirit of your father will go to a good place. that again is up to his karma. We cannot do anything about it either. It's good or bad karma. Will be the one to determine which state of existence your father will be in next.
Thanks.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Diana from Wales. Hi, Diana. You're almost the last person, I think, for tonight.
Oh, greetings, Tanajan. It's been good to hear today. I was thinking, sometimes when things go well, I get complacent, and it's when things go wrong I realize that my equanimity may be not as strong. So it's a good reminder to practice.
Yes, to keep up constantly in the practice. Don't know what you got. The Buddha said always be vigilant with your practice.
Yes. Thank you, Tanajan.
You're welcome. I think we have another Diana from Toronto, from Canada. Hi, Diana. You're using Anjali. Is this your Buddhist name? Oh, yes, I think.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn Suchart.
How are you?
I'm well.
You're not teaching today?
Because last week was last week for teaching.
I see. You're on vacation now, summer vacation.
Almost. Some event is there. I have to take my daughter there for this afternoon. But this morning I'm here on Zoom.
Is there any question you'd like to ask?
Yes, many questions actually were answered through the session. I just wanted to make sure nobody was after me, because I could go next week also, or I could go ahead with my questions.
Okay. Go ahead.
What do you think? Go ahead?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, as many questions as you like.
Okay. I wrote them down a little bit, so then to keep my mind focused. Yes, for mindfulness in daily living, like for instance, if I'm driving the car, is it better to just focus because I understand now to increase mindfulness throughout the day, through the body. I don't do it all the time because sometimes I'm thinking a lot. But let's say if I'm driving and I have a chance to just to do one activity, to drive to a place, is it better to just drive, or like sometimes I find I try to listen and answer the phone? What is better to improve mindfulness?
Just to stick with one thing, doing one thing at a time. Just stick with driving, because this is the most important thing that you are doing. Listening or talking to the phone is not important. So try not to engage in doing so many things at the same time, because your mind will be distracted. And if some emergency happens, you might not be able to deal with it safely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then for my sitting practice, for Anapana, probably because I'm getting less sleep, I try to practice sitting morning and evening, as my practice was many years ago, and many time I feel sleepy. Some retreat I attended with monks at the Sri Lankan monastery, some sutta was read about the drowsiness, and they suggest many different things actually from the sutta. And I had a question for you. Like, is it better to just, because before I always just persist, and now I'm starting to wonder to try these different things, and my mind is getting lost a little bit. So then I come back to persisting, but yes, true, sleepiness is there. So the question is like, should I still experiment with all these different suggestions the monks were sharing from the sutta, or just, what do you think?
Well, you can try them out and see which one works for you. But
I just fall asleep.
I think the most effective antidote to sleepiness is to fast, not to eat so much.
Oh, Yes, so this brings me to my next question, because I did end up fasting 2 weeks ago, like just one day. And let me just skip to that question. Yes, how to use fasting exactly to help meditation, because the first time I felt a lot of benefit in terms of like I was able to suspend some of my negative reactions, and like I quite liked it, because then I was, this pause created where I wasn't, quick to anger, basically, that something isn't my way, but sometimes it's coming so fast before I can catch it, and then I try to catch it later. I think 2-3 weeks ago, I know one of the things I was using was Budo, and Budo's working as long as I am not already caught in a reaction. I find it. I find once I'm in the middle and I use Budo, I can't backtrack, to the mindfulness that I had until the moment is finished. So yes, so the fast, then the day I fasted, I didn't, of course, everything is anicca, so I didn't experience that pause. Maybe I was relying just on fasting in my mind, and I wasn't as mindful. Now that I'm talking about it, I am realizing. But yeah, if you could share a little bit more about how to, because I just did one day of fasting, and I just did dry fasting because a friend said it's easier than with the water, and I felt it was easier. Like I was experiencing less cravings for food for sure, and also like when I began to be mindful that, oh my gosh, the reactions could still get better of me, I did experience benefit, because the first day I did it, I kind of took a retreat. And then this week when I did it, I still had to engage in work and conversation, and I did find it less effective maybe. Yeah, could you share your guidance?
Yes, if you want to fast, it will be better if you are in a retreat. If you're working, then you shouldn't fast, because it will interfere with your work or whatever you do. And then it's not a good day for you to practice if you are working. You
Yes.
have to meditate. It works better when you're off working, not working, and you're in a retreat, and you can then concentrate all your effort to the practice. But if you're working and you want to meditate at the same time, this will be interfering with each other, going against each other. So you have to maybe suspend your meditation during your working days, or just only meditate as much as you have the time for, and then concentrate more on meditating on your day that you're not working, going to a retreat.
Yes, so the little issue there is that I'm always with my child. So even when I go to retreat, she's coming with me. She's making some, I bring some arts and crafts for her, but she still needs my attention from time to time. So still it's better than not going. And we are doing 8 precepts on those days as much as we can, but I have not tried going to the monastery and fasting. So then the next question is, one day was successful for me. I just haven't, how many days could I try? 2 days maybe next time?
It's up to you.
It's up to me.
Yeah, you have to figure out how effective this fasting is good to you. If you find it's good, effective, then you can keep on fasting for a few more days. But when you see that it's no longer effective or good, then you can stop.
Okay. So, okay, I go back. Okay. Oh, yes. And my next question is for children. I did teach my daughter to sit and for breathing and mindfulness of the body. Now I notice the nature of the children is just always moving. And I'm not sure how much, I'm sure she's understanding about the breathing, but I'm not sure how successful she is. So I was thinking to just switch her teaching to mindfulness of the body more, like mindfulness walking, and maybe like, yeah, because
that's more useful to be mindful with her movement, so that she doesn't do anything wrong. If she keep being watchful with her action, mindful of her action, this is a good practice with everybody.
Yeah.
Whether,
Yeah, I have. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Whether you're young or old, mindfulness is always good practice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so my next question was, thank you, Ajahn. And my next question for fasting. And I think some of my question was answered. I was thinking about what would be a good Dhamma way to, when we are relating with people in terms of correcting their mistakes. Like for instance, one meditator at a retreat was, I accidentally possibly speaking not so nice about another monk, and I was looking at her and she continued, and I said, and I used this mirror technique which I learned for work, which was I just reflected back to her, like maybe not very skillfully, but I just questioned her if she was speaking something bad about the monk, because I thought the teaching was to be respectful and honoring the monk, and not necessarily speaking about their mistakes. And now I'm wondering if I was mistaken to correct her.
Well, ideally, it's better to leave people alone if you can.
Okay.
Unless they do something that could be harmful to the community, then you might have to do something about it. But if it's not harmful to the community, then just leave things alone better.
I guess my thinking is that it wasn't helpful for the monk. It wasn't helpful for the Bhante. Like was feeling like gossip a little bit, but maybe just this mistake was made. Okay. I won't say anything next time. I guess I was just surprised. So then I spoke back. Okay, and then the next question is it better to stay with unpleasant nature of reactions or switch to metta to make the mind happy? So this is when I am, I guess when I'm sitting, I am able to stay more with unpleasant nature, with reaction through anapana and sometimes vipassana. But in relating with the person, I am aware that I'm starting to experience aversion. And then I try to get out of it, but then I'm kind of like stuck to it a little bit. And I haven't tried, should I just keep, remember how I was saying how like once I get caught in a reaction, and even if I apply Buddha to kind of suspend it, I still feel the underlying unhappiness in that moment as a reaction. Would it be beneficial for me to switch to metta maybe that time?
It depends on whether you are angry at that person or not. If you're angry, then you should use metta, which means you have to forgive whatever they did to you.
Yeah, well, I'm usually not very happy. So maybe there's anger there.
But if you're not happy because they just happen to be around you and you're not happy, then you might have to use wisdom. You have to look at them like you look at the weather. Sometimes you have bad weather and you cannot do anything about it. You just have to live with it. But sometimes you have bad people around you and there's nothing you can avoid. Then just look at them as like you look at the weather.
So for this teaching, when that moment is not happening, I understand it up here, but in that moment, it is not sinking in. Like I know I need to be accepting, but I'm not accepting in that moment. Like I am.
Because you haven't trained long enough. So you have to keep training to accept everything every day, every moment.
Even maybe accepting that I'm not accepting.
Yeah, you just have to force yourself to accept.
Okay.
And just tell yourself by accepting is good for you and not accepting is bad for you.
Oh, yes, that's a good one, because sometimes when I accept it, I think, oh, I did the wrong thing because I didn't stand up for myself or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see. Oh yes, and from time to time, I get these migraines, and it's probably the same thing that I'm not accepting that I have a migraine in that moment. I just really, maybe for a day I can accept it, and then if it continues the next day, I don't accept it so much, and just creates a lot of tension and misery. Misery.
Yeah, that's because you don't want it. You want to get rid of it, and when you cannot get rid of it, you're creating more migraine. So if you accept it, maybe the migraine will disappear quicker.
Okay. Yes, because it creates barriers for me. Like I am aware the tension is there. My mindfulness is not there. My equanimity is not there. So, but let's say if I need to speak with difficult people in work, I try to avoid it a little bit now, because I know I'm going to sound like overreacting and maybe not be helpful,
Yes, it's better just to leave people alone if you can.
Yeah, maybe so. Okay, I will. I try to apply this now. Okay, I think that was the last end of it.
Okay.
Okay, can my daughter just
Sure,
say
come
now?
in. Yes,
Okay,
come in.
Greta, can you come and pay respect to Bante? Okay. Okay. So
Hi, how are you? What's your name?
Good. What's your name?
Greta.
Okay, good to see you. Are you happy? Okay. Okay.
Well, Bante, we just received a book, your last book.
Okay.
So yeah, so my daughter is asking me, oh, this is the Ajahn Suchart books, the one that you listen to, and I say yes, and so I will read, and I try to translate a little bit for her also.
Okay.
So she goes to Dhamma school and is learning about Jataka tales.
Good.
Jataka tales,
Yeah,
and
Jataka.
practicing dana with food and flowers and some candles, to give her activity. Do you want to share anything?
Not now. Next
Not now.
time.
Okay.
She will prepare next
Yeah,
time.
maybe next time.
Okay.
Okay. Nice talking to you both.
Thank you, Bante.
All right. I think we'll go to question from Kunjuk now. Kunjuk.
Namaskaran. This evening we have 7 questions, and the 3 questions are from the assistant Gmail. The first question is from Claudia from Switzerland. I work with a family who has a newborn cardiac baby and who is going to get a surgery this week. The baby's father is a devoted Catholic man, and the mother's religion is Hindu, and they don't follow Buddhism. My concern is how to support the parents should their baby doesn't survive the surgery.
Well, you just do whatever you can. If you cannot do anything, then just remain calm and not do anything.
The second question is from Sarasi from Switzerland. Can Ajahn explain about Appanasamati?
Appanasamati is the 4th jhana, when the mind becomes still and have equanimity, meaning no defilement working at that time, no love, hate, fear, or delusion.
Next question. During meditation, do we have to concentrate only on Kayanupassana at first stage and then concentrate on Vedananupassana?
These are things you have to go step by step. First, you have to deal with the body first. Then once you pass the body, then you go to deal with the Vedana or feeling. And after you finish past the feeling, then you go to deal with the mind. So there are three steps in these practices. First, you have to learn to study the nature of the body and be able to let go of your attachment to the body. Once you have given up your attachment to the body, then you go and study the nature of Vedana or feelings. And then once you see that they are anicca, dukkha, anatta, you will also be able to let go of your attachment to feelings. Then after that, you go and study the nature of the mind and to see that it is also changing, anicca, dukkha, anatta. And then you will let go of your attachment to the mind. Then, yes, these are the practices that you have to do one at a time, not all at the same time. And you have to do from body first from body to vedana, to feeling, and then to the mind, the mental states.
The next 4 questions are from Facebook. The first one is from Jiao Sang. Ajahn, during meditation, my mind can calm faster, but no longer. How to meditate for a longer period? Thank you.
You have to have more mindfulness before you meditate. So you have to develop more mindfulness. Do mindfulness all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep.
The next question is from I May Soon. Dear Tanajan, there's been a lot of negative news surrounding me, accidents, death. How can we cope with events like this?
Well, just like I said, they are anatta. Events are anatta. They're not under your control. Sometimes they can be good and sometimes they can be bad. They're just like the weather. All you have to do, if you don't want to have any stress or problem with them, you just have to accept them for what they are.
The next question is from Hoi Long Lo. Dear Ajahn, what can I do to help my mother as she has too many attachment to daughters and family members?
It depends whether she needs your help or not. But you have to ask her whether she needs your help or not. If she needs your help, then you can tell her what to do. But if she says she doesn't need any help from you, then there's nothing you can do.
And the last question is from Lee Tekwa. Hi, Tanajan. Is praying to the deceased on his or her death anniversary a necessary procedure under Buddhist practice? If so, can Ajahn please advise on the best way to carry out such practice? Thanks.
Well, we don't pray in Buddhism. There's no such thing as praying. We do practice meditation, practice mindfulness.
That is all, Ka.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
All right, I think that's about it for tonight. I'm sorry for those other people who I might not be able to talk to because we just ran out of time. Well, thank you for your participation. Thank you for your company. I hope this meeting is useful to you and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please be safe, be mindful, and keep on meditating. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Pracha.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you, Amin. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Amin. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.